I go to Judge Napolitano here on this issue. The voter fraud thing has now erupted as a legitimate campaign issue, and whether the controversy isn't so much what Donald Trump said, but what various operatives might be doing. What do you think, Judge?
You know, I think it is an issue, Neil, and I sympathize with Senator Cruz. But 2 weeks before the election, to try and predict that someone's violent behavior is going to result in voter fraud is not going to interest either the Justice Department, which is controlled by the Obama administration, or even local authorities, because voter fraud by definition has occurred to affect the outcome of an election, and the election hasn't happened yet. So can anybody investigate this fellow Kramer because of the boasts that he made on air? Probably, with respect to violence that was caused, that disrupted and actually prevented a rally in Chicago. The violence was so bad, just showed a clip of a cop with his head bleeding all over the place.
Right.
It actually prevented Donald Trump from taking the podium. That's how bad the violence was. But can that translate into an outcome that normally it wouldn't? That is, can it change votes? No one will know until the election happens.
The other issue is whether it can intimidate voters from showing up at the polls at all, which used to be something that Democrats raised against Republicans, and that kind of activity thwarted the vote. What do you think?
This Justice Department has the worst record in the modern era for policing intimidation at voting places. You remember, Neil, we covered this together. People appearing with baseball bats in their hands in Philadelphia in 2012 when the President of the United States was running for re-election, and his own Justice Department did nothing about it. So don't look for the Justice Department to address voter intimidation now. That's going to have to be done by locals. Remember, we don't have one national election. We have 50 states plus District of Columbia, local state-managed elections, and those people can seek out voter intimidation and look to eradicate it independent of the Justice Department.
You know, brilliant doesn't cover it, Judge. Thank you, my friend.
You look great in that sun, Neil.
Yeah, I'm really dressed for the occasion, too. But that's when I'm on air. But I digress. All right, thank you, Judge.